It's your girl Red back at it again with another video. So if you did not join the live on, what was that, Monday, we went and we created a whole new brand. This is a fake business and a fake brand, but it's something that I created. So this is just the thumbnail for today, but just to do like a simple recap. If you did not join the live this is on the brand Monday, we went and we created a whole new brand. This is a fake business and a fake brand, but it's something that I created. So this is just the thumbnail for today, but just to do like a simple recap. If you did not join the live on the brand Monday, we went and we created a whole new brand. This is a fake business brand, but it's something that I created. So this is just the thumbnail for today, just to do like a simple. If you did not join the live on Monday, we went and created a whole new brand. This is a fake business brand, but it's something that I created. So this is just the thumbnail for today, but just to do like a simple. If you did not join the live on Monday, we went and created a whole new brand. This is a fake business. Okay, I had to fix my volume. Let me make sure it's good now. I don't know why there was an echo. Oh, Jesus. Okay, now we should be good. Okay. Okay, we should be good now. Hopefully we are good now and it's not a problem. Let me just confirm one more time. Okay, yes. Okay, sorry about that. So skip to the 5-minute mark. I'll make sure I put that in the description box. So this is the business that we created. It is called Formulate Her. It is a skincare brand. Make sure I got my my chat live as well too. Okay, cool. Let me turn that down. Okay, so this is the brand that we created. Today we're going to be creating all of the product labels for all of the 3 products that we have. It's going to be a gel cleanser, it's going to be a moisturizer, and then it's going to be a serum. And these were the bottles that that Claude came up with and things like that. So we're going to go off of what Claude created, because the other day somebody did ask, like, what if Claude was to, like, can I put all this information in Claude? Can I do that? And we are going to see like what they gave to us based off of this information, all the information that we did give them. This is the whiteboard for the people that do not know. This is something that I like to create inside of Canva. This is where I like to put all of my thoughts, all of my different things. So I use it literally as a whiteboard, as a sticky note board. So any type of, like I said, thoughts that I have, all of the color palettes, all of the different labels that we have, it's all here, my mood board and everything as well. So this is something that we did take a screenshot of inside of Claude, and we're going to go off of this. So what I like to do when it comes to creating my packaging, I want to make sure that I'm measuring out the correct label sizing. So if you already know what kind of bottle you're going to have or what kind of jar you're going to have, I literally like to measure. I got this measuring tape from where I get this from. I think I got this from the dollar store. If I can open it. Try my nails won't let me be great. I got this measuring tape literally from the dollar store. Y'all looking at me at the bottom left corner. And it goes really, really long, but this is actually what I use to measure any type of packaging. So let's say I have this, I got this disinfectant wipe container right here, and you see they have a label all the way across. So obviously if we have a regular type of tape measure, we can't measure it because it doesn't bend. This bends. This is normally also can be used, you know, when people are at a seamstress or other type of stuff. So any kind of measuring tape that's able to bend. I will literally get the container that I'm going to use and I will wrap it around for however long I want the label to actually be. So literally I'm going to wrap it all the way around if I want the label to be all the way around. If I just only want it to cover 75% or have like a little opening, then that's what I would take. And then I would, whether if it's in centimeters or inches, it's up to you how you want to do your labeling, because wherever you're going to order it from, that's the same size you need to use. So I'm just going to use inches because that's what I like to do. So if my bottle container label is 13 inches long and it's, let's see, 6 inches tall, then that's the piece of that's the document I'm going to create inside of Canva, so I can then design on that exact file. But since we're not doing something that big and I'm just doing this to show you guys how to do it, imagine we already have this packaging. Imagine we already have all of the things that we are going to put our products in. We already have those things and I just need to create the mock-ups for them. So the first one that we have on here is some kind of bottle that has like maybe like a screw top. So I do have access to an index with all of my with all the different types of mock-ups. Okay, 1 second, y'all, hold on. I want to make sure everything is good. Bottle that has like maybe. Okay. Yeah. Okay. My chat wasn't pulling up. Okay. So this is like I said, this is like a screw top bottle, and I am going to go to my product packaging index. This is something that I have access to. This is something that I purchased so long ago. I mentioned this at the end of the last video. I have packaging for any and everything, right? So it's crazy because this like cylinder type of bottle looks very similar to this one, and I wasn't even trying to look for it, but let's go ahead and we're gonna download this one. So we're going to download that. The next one is like a jar. I already have a jar downloaded, so I won't have to worry about getting a jar. And then we need a serum type of bottle. So I'm going to go up here and type serum and see what we can find. They have like small bottles, but I want some, I know exactly like what I'm looking for in my brain and in my head. These are really nice serum type of bottles, but I want something like this, not that type of dropper bottle though. I want something like these. Yes, but I want it to be a little bit taller. This one's actually really, really cute. May download this one. That one is also nice. I want to get that one, but like have it be a little bit taller. Let's keep scrolling. These are okay too. These are also really, really pretty. Yeah, something like that. That is actually perfect. That's the one that I want. That one right there. Make sure you keep scrolling just a little bit. Yeah, so I have the 3 labels that I want. So in order to use these types of labels, right, I'm gonna have to use Photoshop. So that's exactly what I'm gonna use today. And I'm gonna open up my Finder, go to my downloads. These are the 3 zip files. I'm gonna open up each one of these zip files. And I already have the jars. I just need to find, I think one of the jars is down here from the other day. Make sure my screen is being shown. Okay, great. Okay, so let's open up that first clear bottle. I'm going to open up the PSD, which is the Photoshop file, and this is the bottle we're going to use for our gentle cleanser, right? So what I like to do inside of here, there's a lot of different layers. Like, so this is not a Photoshop class. I don't know how to use Photoshop to that point, but I do know how to use it to create my product mock-ups. Okay, so over here inside of layers, what we're going to do, we're going to make this a little bit bigger so we can see it. So over here in layers, there's so many different layers to this mock-up, right? So what all I want to do right now is to edit the label. So you're going to find the layer that says label, and I want to make sure that I'm clicking on the right one. So sometimes I like to hide it sometimes so I can see it, because sometimes you can't really see. So they have a glossy version and a matte version. We're just going to keep everything glossy. I personally like glossy, and you're going to find the project. So as I'm hovering over project, you see that there is a blue line square around the actual label, and that's exactly what we want. So I'm going to double click on that, and then it's going to pop up in a new window with the entire area of where we're going to create our actual product label. So how I decide what my label size is going to be for my mock-up specifically, I like to go over here inside of the canvas, because this is the whole sizing of the full canvas, right? So inside of the canvas, I see that the height is 2300 and the width is 1200. So that is the first thing that I'm going to think of when I'm creating the label. But this is a tip that I like to do, right? So I like to go back over here, and I see that this square or this rectangle that the label is in is only the words that are there, right? Cool, nothing wrong with that. And as you can see in that same exact rectangle, if we click on the rectangle over here, the design, the photo, you can see that that's right here. If I want my label to be exactly the same dimensions of the example mockup that it has given me, then I want my dimensions of my label to be exactly like this. So when you click off of the design, I'm going to say done. When you click off of the design, it gives you the full width and dimensions of the full canvas, but I want the width and dimensions of the actual design that's going on here. And then as you can see, the height is about 1578 and the width is 785. And I want to go back, make sure it's the types of width and everything I want. I'm like, okay, that seems pretty fine. I kind of like that, right? So when I go inside of Canva, I'm going to make sure that my width is 785, and I may bring my height up a little bit more because I may want my width to be a little bit more. So I may do a straight 1600 and then 785. So again, we are working with these numbers over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go inside. I'm going to just put this to the side a little bit, and I'm going to go over here to Canva. We're just going to split our screen so you can see fully. And inside of this same Canva document that I have, I'm going to create a new custom size. I want my width to be exactly the same, say 785. And then I want my height to be 1600 even. I just like even numbers. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I just like even numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and create. And as you can see, it has now created a tall rectangle, just like how it is on the left side. And I know that I'm being shown on the left side, so let me actually hide myself a little bit. It's being shown on the left side, so as you can see, this one right here, and I'll make it darker just so you can see as well too. So this black rectangle is supposed to mimic this smaller rectangle right here. So we have the first one, which is great. Now let's go ahead and do the same thing for our other two product labels. Now I like to just go ahead and have all of my product label dimension designs inside of Canva so I can work with all of them together at the same time. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to click on the second dropper bottle that we got, because that's the one I actually want to use, and it's going to pop up in Photoshop just like how it did before. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go over here to the layers, and I'm going to find the one that says label, click on the drop down, and then I'm going to double click the project and I'm going to do the same exact thing. I see that the full canvas inside of Photoshop is 1124 by 2218, but I want exactly where the design is, right? Again, let's click back over here. You see the design's a little bit smaller, it's in there, and I want to make sure that my design is as similar as possible. So I want to see how tall and wide the actual smaller design is, and that is 645 by 1233. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here inside of Canva, do another custom size, do the width to 645, and I'm going to do the height to I'm going to do 1250, and I'm probably going to show you why I'm doing a little bit taller. So this rectangle over here to the left is similar to the one over here to the right. Now for the last one, it is a jar. So let's go back, and I already had a clear jar mock-up, so I'm just gonna go and find that exact mock-up that I want to use, which is this one right here. We have our clear jar. I'm going to go over here to the right, find the label, do the drop down, double click on that label, and see where, now the jar is a little bit different, okay? So we see that the full canvas is 2400 by 1500, okay? But the design is a lot shorter than that. But I wanna make sure that our design fully wraps around the jar. So when we're looking at the jar, we only see it from the front, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I wanna make sure that we're able to have a full label fully around it. So what we're gonna do, I'm going to take the same exact dimensions for the height, which is 789. I'm just going to round up to 800, and I'm going to use the same width as the full canvas. So my full canvas width in my Canva is going to be 2400, but my height is only going to be 800. So let's go over here to Canva on this side, do a custom size. The width is 2400, and the height is going to be 800. All right, and that is the full width that we're going to work with for the jar. Okay, and I'm literally gonna tell you guys why. So now that we have all three of our designs, we can minimize Photoshop for now, and we can make our Canva back full screen. So for the first design, we have the first product, which is the Gentle Gel Cleanser, right? And the name of it is called Clean Break. So when it comes to me designing product labels for my clients or for myself or for customers, I want to make sure that everything is, again, on brand and it makes sense and it looks good. So this is what our current brand identity board looks like. Anytime that we're creating a product label, anytime that we're creating content, anytime we're creating anything, we want to make sure it goes back to this brand and exactly how it should be feeling from the target customer and all of those things, right? So what we have over here, we have a lot of dark going on with the other two labels, but I don't want things to be dark. I want things to be a little bit more brighter and airy, and I want us to use the color palette that we currently have. So I don't really want to use the dark black color. I want to use the blues and the teal, like the light blue, and like maybe even the white as well too. So let's see what we can do with that, and we can go from there. Because also, if we take a look at all of our product mock-ups that we have, the containers, they are actually clear. So for this gentle cleanser, it maybe stay clear, right? For the dropper, it most likely also will stay clear. So we want to make sure that the product that's inside, the color, that blue color, that's what we're mainly going to be changing on these two. And then for that jar, this is where we're actually going to have a label that is most likely around it, okay? And if not, we'll go from there. We'll kind of see. So inside of the label, so let's turn this back to the light gray color. I just wanted it to be black so you guys could see it on the Canva background. So again, for the first label, this is what we're going to create, right? So let's actually go back to our whiteboard and fully see what they had on here. Now, everything that we are putting on our labels. You already know everything that you're putting on your labels. You're going to be putting your ingredients, you're going to be putting your how to use it, you're going to be doing all of those things, right? So we're not going to do all of that today because there's no need for us to do it, but I can show you how you can have it on here, and depending on what type of product label or jar container that you have, how you can make sure that it all makes sense when you're putting it on there. Okay, so this is the first one, and it is called Clean Break and then Gentle Gel. So the fonts that we are using is Veraka and Montserrat, right? So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go to the text, and I'm going to make sure that the text that we are using is our brand text, which is Veraka. And the title of it was, sorry, on my memory, Clean Break. So let's type the word Clean Break. And we may actually put it on 2 different lines. And a person like me, I do not like the thick spacing that Canva automatically gives us. I do not like the 1.4. So I like to start off with 1 and then make it smaller depending on what the look is I want it to be. So I'm going to go with 0.84 for the line spacing. I'm going to have this be about this side. Actually, I'm going to make it a little bit larger because I want it to be almost as large as this full canvas that we have, because we know it's going to be in the middle once we put it on the actual bottle. So this is the name, and we can go back and change the colors afterwards, right? So that's the first name. We're going to just duplicate this. I'm going to change the text to our extra light, our body of Montserrat, and I'm going to type in gentle gel cleanser, because that's exactly what this is. And I'm going to make this smaller. Let's just go with 64 right now, even making it smaller than that because I want it all on one line. Okay. And I want all of this in all caps. So it's just a little bit too, okay, here we go. And again, I want everything to be lined up together. Okay, that's what we have right now. And then we need our logo. So we are going to use our submarked logo for our product labels. We're not going to use a full logo because I think submarked logos make more sense for product labels. So I'm going to just make sure everything is just still black for right now. Bring this down. I'm going to make this slightly smaller. Put this right here in the middle. Ooh, right there. I actually really love that. Okay. And then after that, we are going to, let's see. They have some information at the bottom. Okay. So we're going to type in the amount of ounces it is, or milligrams, which this is 150. Make that slightly smaller. Put that right down here. Additional text, and then whatever additional text that you need. Again, ingredients, instructions, how to, all of that stuff is going to be on your product label, right? It may also be a barcode or etc. This is just for the mock-up. We're only creating the mock-ups right now. Okay, let's go back over here. Let me see what I have. Identical for sensitive skin. Okay. I'm going to make this slightly larger. That's 45. So I want this to be about 30. And I want this also in the middle. And I'm going to type for sensitive skin. Yes. And I'm going to actually make these just a little bit thicker so we're going to be able to see it on the actual bottle. So I'm going to make them regular for now. So this is the label that we have. It's very, very simple. It's not too crazy. The colors aren't really crazy because of the type of brand that we are actually using, right? So now what I want to do, I actually want to change the background color to be a different color. I want to then change all of the font to be that light color. And then I also want to use the effect of, I really love glow to give it like a shadow behind. So I'm going to attach that effect to all of my wording here because I want it to come off of the label bottle. I'm also going to duplicate this page, and then I'm going to change all of the font colors back to that dark black color because I want to see both of the options, right? So I'm going to download both of these, 8 and 9, transparent background, because our label is going to be transparent on what we're currently using. And this is for this brand specifically. If this was something that you were doing, I would not recommend you to download them transparently because your bottle or your packaging is not going to be transparent. You're actually going to have a sticker label on top of there. Okay, so let's open up both of those. We have them here. So let's go over here to Photoshop. Let's go back to the actual label. This is how you would upload them inside of Photoshop. So what I like to do, honestly, I just like to drag and drop. So these are the two labels that I have. I'm going to highlight them, drag them over here, and you can't see them fully because of the way that they are transparent background. One has white letters, the other one has black letters, but how you stretch it across the canvas, you like to do it on both of these sides. At least that's how I like to do it, to make sure that it goes to the full canvas fully. So I'm going to drag it to where this design canvas is, and it should be able to lock in place. You see that? And I want it to be exactly the same exact dimensions of the original canvas, right? So I'm going to click done. I'm going to do the same exact thing for the second one. And I'm going to drop it down where it is, right there. And now I'm going to click done. Now we have all three that are right here, right? Make sure that they're all, I need to pull these down just a little bit. Oh, I can't pull it down. No, I just want to touch that one. Oh, hold on, y'all. What is going on? I want to pull this one all the way down, and then this one up here. I don't know if I'm doing it right. Let's make sure. Okay, the height is 1578. I want to make sure. Let me take this design off because I can't see it because of the background. Okay, let me go up here to click save and see how it turned out on the product label. Okay, so you can see it on the product label now. So that was the vibe I was going for, except we can't see it. So that's why we have the black one as well. So I'm going to take the black one and make it just slightly exactly where it is. I'm going to hide the white text. I'm going to go over here to File, click Save, and I'm going to click back over to the original one, and that is the new label with the black text on there. Now, it does look fine. It looks okay, but I really don't like the, let me see if I can zoom in. I actually don't like the shadow effect that we did do with the text. And I also don't think I like the clear labeling either, with which again, nothing wrong with that, but I want to make sure that people are able to see what I want them to see, and I want it to make sense. So what we're going to do, we're going to go back to Canva, and we're going to delete the one with the white text because that's just not working. So we're going to do the black text, but we're going to make sure that all of the effect is just a little bit less. Let's do like 30. Okay, we're going to do 30. And then let me go back over here to see what it looks like, because I may actually make this taller as well. Canvas is 2300. Okay, let me go back to Canva. Let me see how tall this was. Okay. I'm gonna keep 785. I'm gonna do the height to be a little bit taller. I'm gonna copy all of this and I'm gonna move it to here, just so it's a little bit taller, because I do want it to be a little bit taller. I want the logo to be a lot farther away. Let's go back here. I do really like the clean braid. I do really actually like that for this brand. I'm gonna make this a little bit, okay. I don't know. We can see if we can change that later. I'm trying to see in regards to the bottle and how they have this. Oh, they have the highlights. Gotcha. Okay, sorry, y'all. Okay, this is our the label. Let me actually show you what it would actually look like if it was just all white. I want to see if this would be able to show up. It probably won't be. Let me just download without the transparent. I'm gonna do page 9 because it's our current page. I'm gonna go inside of here, go inside of the label where the project is, back to my downloads. So this is what it would normally look like if it wasn't transparent background. Put that in the middle. I'm gonna click up here to save, go back to the project. And that is what it would look like on a white background, just to show you guys what that would look like. So if I made this even shorter, that is what it would look like. So when you're trying to do a wraparound, doing it fully around is what is definitely key. But again, we're doing something that is transparent, so we don't need to have it be wrapped around. Okay, let's save this again. And I want to be the same size as that one. Save. Oops, not save as. Save. Click over here to the bottle. Oh, I didn't do the transparent background. Let's try it again. There we go. There we go. So that's what it would look like. Again, it's okay. But I do think I want to do an actual label on there. So what I'm going to go back over here and do on the canvas, the width is 1200. So I want to keep the same height, and the height is 2100. I'm going to go over here, custom size. And this is a good way for you to be able to see what you like, what you don't like when it comes to your actual product labels. Like, it's really, really important to know exactly what you do or do not like. So we're going to do this way. And I don't want the font to be the black color. I really do want it to be the blue. But I also want to make sure that that effect isn't too much because of the skinny text. So I'm gonna make it 15, and then I'm gonna also make these 15. Okay. Also, since we're here, I'm gonna go ahead and do the ingredients and the how-to. So I'm going to make this a little bit smaller, maybe make it 22, put it right here in the middle. I'm going to duplicate that, put a line right under, and I'm just going to do filler text just so you guys can see it, but you should have all the ingredients for your projects, etc. I'm just going to do filler text so you can kind of see what it looks like. And I'm going to drag this to the edges. Yes. Actually, I'm going to make this even a little bit shorter, so you can try to keep that sleek look. Copy this one. Ingredients. Oops. And how to use. I don't like all the spacing, so I'm going to bring that up just a smidge. I may actually bring these down a little bit. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to change the text to our header text. Oh, but it's too small. You can't see it. Okay. Product. Formulated and created by Formulate Her. I just want to add some extra text. I'm going to make this slightly thicker than what's currently already there. I'm going to make that italicized. I don't think I actually like that. Okay. So this is the current label. Something else that I really like to do to make sure labels aren't bland, I like to add a background. So just like how I added the background to the brand identity board, those would be the same backgrounds I'll probably use for the labels as well. So I'm going to go over here and copy one of the backgrounds. I'm going to click paste, and it's just bright enough or light enough to where it's not going to mess up the full like the wording or the text that's on the label. So I'm going to move this down and I'm going to drag it all the way down and make sure that it is in the back. And I'm actually going to make sure it's even lighter than what it currently is. Okay, so this is the full label. So let us download this one. No transparent background, page 10. And all of this goes into making your product labels, right? So this is just one label so far, right? Let me make sure y'all can see the screen. Oh, I don't know if y'all can see the actual screen. Hold on, y'all. Because I've been talking this whole time, but you've only been able to see the Photoshop screen. 1 second. Okay, so we have the screen, but why is it so small? Okay. This is the new label I just created. Apologies for that, y'all. This is the new label that I just created. And, ooh, where'd it go? And this is for the cleanser, right? This is for the cleanser. So what I was saying was that I have the light background and then I added the background from our brand identity board that we had back here just so it can give it some texture. So that's exactly what I did. So, and I also added our ingredient list and our how-to list. This is just filler text just for the example. And then this is the actual, how much it is, the title of the product, and the logo, the Submart logo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download this page. Click download. Let me make sure we're going to go back to Photoshop. It's not showing the correct Photoshop though either. Hold on, you guys. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. Okay, here is the Photoshop. So this was the original label that we had. Let's click over here so we can add our new label. This is our new one. We're gonna make sure that it is the same width and it is just about where we want it to be. I'm just gonna put it in the middle. I'm gonna go over here to File, click Save, and then click on the clear bottle. And that is what the current label looks like. So I actually want the label to be a little bit shorter, just a little bit. So our label is currently 2100. Let's take off about, let's make it 1800 instead. So 1200 by 1800. Okay, we're gonna grab everything here, paste it here, make it just a smidge smaller. use the same background. And then we're going to save 11. And this is literally what I do for myself as well too. If I don't see things are the right height, the right width, etc., that's what I'm going to do. So inside of Canva, I went ahead and changed up the I have to remember I have to do this. I went ahead and added a new file over here that is the 1200 by the 1800 instead of the original of what we just had, the really tall label of the 1200 by 2100. So the new label size is, the height is 1800. So let's go over here to Photoshop. Ooh, let me find Photoshop. Here we go. Okay, so let's add in, let's actually delete all of these older ones that are in here because we do not need them. Add in our new one, number 6. Drag her all the way to the left and the right of the space. Click done, file, save. And then that is the label for this exact label bottle, which I really like. I think it looks good. So what we're going to do is we're going to now edit the actual label bottle. So something else that I actually really like with these product mock-ups is you can customize the actual bottle and the contents inside of the bottle. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go back to, let me actually share, see if I can share my screen this way. Hold on, y'all. Let me see something really quickly. Okay, something's going on my screen and it is like really crazy. Hold on, y'all. Okay, now I have it to where you can see Canva and Photoshop all in the same exact window. Okay, great. So make sure it's right. Okay, yes. So this is Canva over here, and then this is the Photoshop. So what I really like is that you can change the colors of the product, the whole bottle, or you can change the actual contents of the product that's inside. So I'm gonna turn this over just a little bit so we can see it. Okay, y'all can see it that way. So I actually want to do silver. I'm not a silver girly, but I feel like silver will go really good with this brand. So for the top, I want to do chrome. I'm going to click on chrome. And then I'm actually going to do the drop down over here. And it currently has a gold color, but I want to change it to like a more silver color. Let's see if we can do a more silver color. Yes. I like that color. Whatever this is, I love that. So that is the silver top. And since that is silver, I think I want to create a silver border around the label, but I will go back and do that, right? I also want to change the color of the actual product that's inside. So over here on Canva, I'm going to go back to the full color palette that's right here. And I actually want the product to be a lighter color. So I'm going to take this exact, I'm going to take this exact hex code and I am going to double click the color over here, and I'm going to paste the hex code so it can be more of the blue that will go with our brand instead of it being something else. So I really, really, really like that. So since we've changed it and it kind of changes the whole dynamic of the label as well, I'm going to go over here to, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to hide all of these labels because we don't currently need them. I'm going to put them at the end actually. This is our current label that we're working with. I want to add a silver border on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a line in Canva, add it to, and then I'm going to update the width to maybe about 45, have it all the way toward the end, and I'm going to move it. Oops. Before we do that, let's lock in that background because I don't want it to move the background at all. Oh my gosh, I hate when this does this. Let me just already move it up here. Then I'm going to duplicate this and I'm going to move it all the way to the bottom. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to change the color of this to be silver. So let's actually go with this gray that's down here coming from the photo. And I actually really like the other gray that's down here as well. So I'm gonna, how I like to make a gradient effect or a effect where it looks like it's metallic, you like to go between two different colors. So I'm gonna take the color of this gray, I'm gonna copy this color, I'm gonna click on the top one, click inside of it, and I'm gonna do gradient. It's already gonna pop up with a darker gray color, but I want to use a different one. So I'm gonna type in that that hex code on the gradient. I'm going to duplicate this one, and then I'm going to drag the original one, duplicate it there, and then I'm going to do half and half like that. And see up here, I have my gradient line. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the one at the bottom, and I'm going to click on the current gradient that's there. But instead, I want it to be just slightly opposite, so I don't want it to be the same exact way. So the lighter color starts here, but the darker color one starts down there. So now that I have my two lines here, I really, really like that. I'm going to take all of the text in the middle, and I'm just going to, actually not even just the text in the middle, I'm going to take the logo and the words, because you can see it over here. It looks like it's just a little too high up there for me. It's a personal preference. I'm gonna bring it down just a smidge, and I'm gonna do the same thing with the text at the bottom. 1 second. Oh, this is in front of everything. I don't want this in front of everything. I want this in the back. The text at the bottom, I want this to be brought up just a little bit as well. Okay, so let's re-download our current label. And we're gonna go back over here, and we're gonna upload that again. Make sure it's the same exact height and width, of course. File, save. Then we're gonna click back on the bottle, which that is now the bottle, which it is okay. It's not the same exact shade as the one at the top, and I want it to be the same exact shade at the one at the top. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna grab a dropper, and I'm gonna see exactly the exact shade that's at the top. So let's click on and see what shade of gray that is. Click, copy that, and instead of this dark color, I want to do this color instead. and see if that changes anything. Download this page again. Mind you, we're still on the first label. We are an hour in, we're still on the first label. Like, all of this is really a passion and a work of art, truly. So when you're creating your product labels, you want to make sure, again, that everything looks good for your target customer and everything that they want from your brand and from your business, that it makes sense visually, right? I want to make sure that this makes sense visually for anybody that's going to be purchasing this brand. Let's go ahead and click save. And it is definitely closer. Now, the only thing that I do not like is how thick it is. I don't like the weight on the line. So let's make it a little bit shorter, maybe about 25, and move it all the way up to the top. Make sure I adjust that color scheme. Okay. Make sure this is all the way to the top as well. Okay. Now we're going to resave this one more time. Okay, now that we've saved it, let's upload this one again. Skinnier line. I think I love that. Go ahead and click save. There we go. That is our final label. I actually really like this. So this is our very first label that we have. So what I like to do is I like to take off the background. Right down here at background color, I like to hide it so it will save as a transparent PNG. I'll go up here to file and I go to export, and then I export as a PNG. You can name it whatever you want to name it as. I'm gonna name it Formulate 1 because you're going to be doing this 2 more times. So let's go through the other 2 labels really quickly. I'm going to do the same exact thing that I just did for the first one, but for the other 2. So we already have the sizing for everything. So let me actually change my screen so you guys can just see the Canva site. Okay, 1 second, y'all. Okay. So we just have Canva right here. This is the logo, the label that we're going to be going off of when it comes to the other 2 that we have, right? So the other 2 mock-ups that we have is the jar for the moisturizer, and then we have the serum as well. So let's go ahead and do the jar. Now, this was like a dark color. I don't want it to be dark. This one was white. The contents are probably still going to be the same exact color, but I want the jar to have a little bit more flavor. Okay, so let's go ahead and take our background photo from our previous. Go ahead and copy that, paste it here. I'm going to rotate it just so it's better for the width that we have this as. Okay, put this all the way in the corner. Pull it all the way. Same here. Now we have the full background. Let's actually see what color background we want to have it as. We already have some gradients here. I actually really like this one. Let's go with this and just see how it kind of is. So the name of that product is called Barrier Boss. Love that. So let's take our exact information that we have here, and we're just gonna paste it just to have something to go off of, okay? All right. I'm gonna lock that background. Oops. Okay. So let's actually type in our title. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna drag this all the way to the end so I know for sure it's in the middle, because I want mine to be in the middle. We can actually also make this bigger because of the jar. And we're gonna put our ingredients and everything on a completely different side. And these words actually probably could be the light gray color. This may actually be too big, but we're gonna see. So we're gonna move, hold on. Take our position. I want to move the ingredients. Oh no, I didn't want to lock that. Ingredients on this side, and then how to use over here as well. I'm going to highlight these and make them bigger so we'll be able to actually see them on the label. Changing the color, yes, 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 yes. Effects, let's make this 25. Oh. 40 is just fine. I like to do everything to the left, so let's put everything to the left. Gonna do the same thing on the right side, but see, we can't see it on the right side, so maybe everything needs to be that dark color. And change the effect back to 35. Oh, what if this was like ombre? Like it ombre into the gray? I mean, yeah, ombre into the light gray, so you'll be able to see it. Girl, you can't see that. Cute in theory. Cute in theory. You could see that though, but that's not in the color palette. I'm gonna have to change this up just a smidge. I want this to go all the way down. All the way to the right. And then we're gonna do the same thing. I can't see this one either. This is interesting. What color is this going to be? Black? Is it going to be black? It could be, actually. Let me make this a little bit smaller so we can see the whole screen. Let's switch it. Oh, that could work. Let's make this a little bit bigger. This is just outrageous. I don't even know why I did this. Like this. because I'm about to shrink it. Because they're just a smidge too big. Just a smidge. Because we need to do our silver label. I actually kind of like that black, the black ombre situation. Like, how pretty is that? Whoa. Let's actually do like a little effect. But this is not the same text that we're going to use here. Ceramide and peptide moisturizer. Gel moisturizer. Love that. I'm gonna keep that color. I wonder if we should do an ombre on here as well. That actually looks really good. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. Let's go back over here and get our lines. But see, it's thicker over here. We want it to not look as thick like the other one. Okay, duplicate that, bring this to the bottom. I wonder if the top should be blue. Like if, let's see what it looks like without the border. And then it with it. Let me edit the screen so y'all can see. Let me move this over here so y'all can see it. Okay. So let's edit. We're going to the jar. So this is the jar, and this is the current label for the jar. So let's add in the jar label. Let me zoom in so y'all can see. Drag it to the sides. Drag it down just a smidge. Hide the original. File, save. Girl, what? That's not what I thought it was going to look like. I thought it was going to cover up majority of it because that's normally what I like to do. But I'm not mad at that. So let's actually make this toward the bottom of the jar. That was hilarious because I just was not expecting that. Okay, this is the current jar. Not mad at it. We need to change up the contents inside though. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take our gray color, copy that hex code, go back over here, click on the contents, and it's always going to be like this bluish color. Paste that, click OK. Now we need to change this top. I kind of want the top to match the label and not have it be that silver color. But let's see what that other silver color was for this one, because I do want everything to match because it's a collection, right? It's like a mini collection for everything. So let's go to the top. Let's see if we can. They have matte, they have gloss. Let's do glossy. See, this one is not going to look exactly the same. It's going to, because it doesn't have a chrome effect. So I actually don't want it to be that color. So let's see about this blue color. Let's see what it looks like with that blue color instead. Not terrible, but also not what I want either. Let's go with the other blue color. It's still not giving what I want, but it's a lot better. This is what I want to do. I'm going to show y'all how I want to get a color that's in between both of those. Let me keep this here and let me show y'all this website. This website is where I like to go to create color palettes and things like that. So let's actually take both of our colors, both of these colors that we want to kind of get a baby with. It's funny how they're using blues. Let's just delete all these. We just want 2. I'm going to paste my hex code here. And then I'm going to take the other one and paste it here as well. And then to get a color in the middle, I'm going to click the plus sign. Cool. So let's copy that hex code and go back to Photoshop and change that top color to this baby color. And boom, we have the perfect color that's in between. The perfect color in between. I love it. Not only do I love it, I love it. But the other label has a border, so we have to figure out this border situation. So let's go back to the border over here in Canva, and let's add back the border, but I want it to just be the light gray. Actually, no. That's not what I want it to be. I want it to be, no, let's do light gray. I want this same bluish color. I want to see what that looks like as a metallic-ish type of situation. And then we're going to double the gray. Oh, that looks beautiful. What? Huh? Oh yeah, give dimension. Give it to us. Download 10. What? Oh yeah. We're not playing. Let's go back to the label. You see how much faster it is to do your other labels when you already know what the design is going to be? It's so much easier. I'm going to drag this all the way to the same level. File, save, so we can see it. It's loading, and just a little subtleness, we're able to see it. Now, the other thing that I want to do, I actually want to make the barrier block larger. It's not big enough for me. Remember I said, oh, we're going to keep it small because of da-da-da. No, I need it to be a little bit larger. Back to my original thought. Let's have it right there, and let's move this down. Large and in charge, huh? Okay, let's lock this because I want to drag just a little bit. Oh, perfect. Okay, now let's download 10 again. Oh, y'all didn't even see what I just did. My apologies. Y'all gonna see it on this Photoshop. So you see how small the words are of the title? I just made them bigger. File, click save. Then let's go over here to the clear jar. Now they're bigger. I like them being bigger. So now we're gonna take off the background. Down here, background color, file, export, quick export, and we're gonna name it Formulate 2. And now we are off to doing the very last dropper bottle, very last mock-up, which is this dropper bottle. And we're gonna keep it clear. We're gonna keep it clear, and we're going to change the color of the product to be this lightish blue color that we have on our color palette. So let's just go ahead and change that now. Here. Yes. Let's go ahead and just change it so we can already see. We already have the silver top, but I want it to be as close as possible to the one that we currently have. So I'm going to go back up here, make sure I grab that color because I really love that color. Paste it. Oh, see, it's popping up completely different. It's a completely different color. It's not even showing up the same. Y'all see that? Yes, we want the chrome. Different gray color. So now we have to figure out how to get this color to match this one. And how are we going to do that? You headed out? You too, babe. Love you too. Okay, so this is a different silver shade than the other one. So we're gonna have to figure out how to get this exact silver shade. Let's see. I don't know if we're gonna be able to. We're gonna come back to that one because I want that exact silver. But let's finish making the actual label for the dropper bottle. So we have everything. We have the dimensions. Let's go back to Canva. Make this back big because I had made it small a second ago. Make sure y'all can fully see me. Okay. Okay, this is the dropper bottle. Let's just take all the information here. It's not going to have a background or anything because it's going to be on a clear background. So let's actually make, well, no, it can stay white. Make it just a smidge smaller. And we're going to turn everything to we're just gonna have it be black. I'm not even gonna play around. I mean, it could be something like that, but we gonna see how it pop up on screen. So let's get the name of it. It's called The Formula. It's gonna have to be a little bit smaller. I love that though. Oh, that looks so good. Okay, targeted blemish and texture serum. Okay, love that. Ingredients. $30. I realized I didn't change the ml on the other one, but it's perfectly fine. And we're actually not going to, actually let me check on this really quickly. I'm gonna move this up. Just so we can kind of see it. Just actually no, because this isn't going to be on the bottle. Like, actually, it's really not going to be on the bottle. It will be on the box if it's something like this. So let's go ahead and download this page. I'm gonna go to the label. Oh, crazy, because I did not do transparent, but that's okay. Because I still want to make sure this fits exactly where it's supposed to go. So let's just actually save it and see how it looks on the bottle. See, I want it to be just a little bit bigger. I mean, taller. Okay. Let's bring it down a little bit. Where is it? Let's bring it down. And then also make this a little bit shorter. Okay, click save. Okay, that is going to be perfect. So let's re-download this transparent background, because this is actually transparent. Transparent background. Bring this over here. Okay. And then we're going to take off the other two. File, save. And boom. We got the formula. We got the formula. I actually really like this. Let's actually move this up a little bit. Why can't we click on it? I hate when this does this. Okay, no. Since y'all won't let me manually move it, I'll move it like that. Okay. So now let's figure out this top situation. Let's figure out this top situation because I don't want it to be this color. I wonder if they would do metallic. I don't think I like this either. Let me go grab the color that we're using. And go back here. I don't think I like metallic either. Glossy showing up. Okay, let's go back to chrome. I'm gonna figure out this color. But chrome is like, oh, you know what we can do? Forget all of this. We're going to do just our dark blue color. We're not even gonna try to match it. We can tell that it's a metallic top or something like that. We're just gonna do our blue. We're not even gonna mess with it. That's what we're gonna do. Boom. Looks better already. Let's take off that background all the way down here. Let us export. Okay. Export is going to name her Formulate 3. And now we have all 3 of our product mock-ups. Oh my gosh, y'all, that was crazy, but we got all 3. So now what we're gonna do, we are going to upload all of them to our Canva. Upload files. One product, 2 product, and then 3 product. So now that we have all 3 of them, let's make them bigger so we can see them. And I want them to be to size. So this one's a little bit bigger. This will probably be around that size. I just want to put them on the same line. And this one also probably be that size. So as a comparison, this is what Claude created and this is what we created. I think it looks fire. I honestly think it looks so fire. So that is going to be the end of this video. I thought I was going to be able to create some flyers and stuff with y'all, but we've already been on here for about an hour and a half and the flyers are going to take a lot longer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this video, and in the next video, we're actually going to create, I think it's about 4 or 5 different type of flyer designs, and these are all the flyer designs that we're going to create. We're going to create something like this, create this one. This one looks really nice and cool. Create one similar like this, especially with the text like this, and then also one like this because I knew we were going to have a serum. So if that is something that you are interested in, go ahead and comment on this video. I'm going to go live later on this evening, probably going to take a little break and then get back on here and then create those flyer designs. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I love y'all so much. God loves you more, and we are going to continue with creating our skincare brand. So thank y'all so much. And